grab your fam and grab anything except a paintbrush, because it's time for family art making. What's up, Ringling fam? It's Kallie, and I've been thinking about last week's project. We used our hands to make art, so I thought, what else could we use to make art? And then I thought, why not use anything to make art? So for today's project, we are thinking outside of the box, and we are going to use all kinds of different supplies as paintbrushes, see what kind of marks they make, and then I have a special challenge for you to try to make a work of art using all the different tools that you found and using all the different marks that they make. Now this might sound a little bit crazy, using something other than a paintbrush to paint, but there are a lot of artists that use things other than paintbrushes as tools for their artwork. So I thought, why don't we talk about two artists that we have on display at the Ringling who use very special, very interesting tools to make their paintings. So let's check that out. Our first artist is Sonia. In the 1950s, she discovered abstract expressionism, which is painting things based on emotions, wanting to express your emotions in works of art. And like a lot of other abstract expressionists, she didn't use a paintbrush to create her art all the time. One thing that she would use is called a palette knife. Usually palette knives are used to mix paint, and they're often made of flexible metal or plastic with a wooden handle, but what she used it for was to paint. She used her palette knife to lay on thick layers of paint that were very bold colors to make these different motions and lines and curves to express a feeling in her abstract art. Let's take a look at this piece called Pink Rider. This is one of the ones that she used her palette knife to create. And as you can see, there are some very thick lines. It looks like the paint is just built up and up and up. Like if you touched it, you could feel the layers of paint, that certain parts would stick out closer to you. But you'll also notice that using the palette knife helps her create a sense of movement in her artwork. Don't the lines look like they're wiggling and waving and maybe blowing in the wind? This is definitely a pretty cool tool to use instead of a paintbrush to get that movement that you see in this painting. Our next artist is someone we've talked about many times. It is the always lovely Sid Solomon. Sid was very innovative in the different tools that he used. For this work, Solomon applied this stuff called wallpaper paste to cover certain areas of the already painted canvas. Then he would spray little mists of enamel paint from aerosol cans from up above the canvas. The areas that were not covered in the wallpaper paste would then be colored with this vibrant hues from the color bombs that he would spray with the cans. Then once the spray was dry, he washed off the paste with a water hose to reveal the colors below, which had been protected by that wallpaper paste. Now talk about not using a paintbrush, he used a bunch of different crazy tools. Sid used a lot of different inventions to make artwork, and he invented most of them himself. So you should definitely take a look at the entire exhibition, come visit the museum, see all the amazing pictures of Sid making art, because it's crazy to think about what all he did without using a single paintbrush. I mean, he did use paintbrushes sometimes, but that's not what we're talking about today. The supplies you'll need is basically anything at all. I've got Q-tips, cotton balls, tin foil, ribbon, string, pipe cleaners, and I'm using clothespins to hold those different materials, kind of like a paintbrush handle. So you can do that too, or use whatever you'd like. You can even use your fingers. And those are the different marks that I've practiced. And now I'm going to try to make a piece of art that uses all of these materials in one artwork. And I'm going to challenge you to do the same. I started off with the string to kind of make a grass with 2 different colors of green paint. Then took the small leaf and dipped it in black to make a tree trunk and some branches, make it look kind of messy. And then going in with the tinfoil and the pom-poms to make the leaves on the tree and also some bushes towards the bottom. I then used the Q-tip in a couple different colors to make some pretty clouds along with the cotton balls and a smaller pom-pom ball. Then I used the feather to add a splotch of color that's going to become mountains later, but I ended up covering most of it up with a cotton ball, blue to make some water, and then I used the straw to make some rain coming down from the clouds, maybe some snowflakes. Tip again to get some better lines to draw some like orangish, pinkish, goldish hills in the background. Trying to create some of that perspective, that foreground, middle ground, background that I talked about in another video. Then I went back in and added some more to the tree, some more to the grass, some bushes with the cotton ball and pom-pom balls. Then I took the Q-tip again finally to make little red, maybe fruits or flowers growing on the tree, and added more to the tree trunk. And that is my final landscape artwork, made with all my different materials, none of which are paintbrushes. So here is all the different marks that I made with all of my different materials. And here is my completed landscape artwork using the different materials. It turned out pretty okay. I really love the tree and the rain coming from the clouds. I think it turned out pretty nice. So I'm gonna challenge you to do the same. And we would love to see whatever artwork you end up making with all your different tools. So send us what tools you made and a picture of your artwork to the Ringling Facebook page, the Family Programs Facebook page, or send us an email at education@ringling.org. And if you do, let us know that it's okay to share them, because I know our other Ringling fam would love to see what materials you use. And that's all I have for you today, so I hope you had fun using things other than paintbrushes to make art. So I will see you next week at the same time and the same place. Bye!